January 1st, cancel all your subscriptions, stop going to work, don't send your children back to school, and let's ruin the economy. You guys want change, right? Well, let's hit them where it hurts in their pocket. The problem is, most people are going to see this video and they're going to keep scrolling and they're not going to do it. If you want to make real change, we have to organize. We need at least every single person that was at the No Kings protest to participate. If we were to cancel all of our subscriptions, not buy anything, not go back to work, don't pay our rent, anything. If every single person that was at the No Kings protest were to participate in this, we would have the changes that we want to see. You guys keep talking about plans, set the date. Set the date, organize, have a sign-up sheet so we know how many people are going to participate. If you don't feel like people are doing enough, if you think that there's a better way to make change and you're tired of the protests and you think the protests aren't doing anything, organize. People will get behind you. I know I'm ready. Just set the date, let me know what I gotta do, and I'm ready to do it. But I'm not gonna participate in something all by myself because that's not what's gonna make change. It's not going to make a difference if one person does it. We need every last person that we can possibly get. The last thing would probably be is to just have our list of demands: universal health care, universal housing, education, etc. Whatever percent tax on billionaires, every recertification of Roe v. Wade. Everything that we want needs to be listed out and ready to go. But I'm hearing a lot of talking, but no action, and I'm tired of it.
Republican economic policy is the reason the middle class is suffering today, and I can prove it in one chart. Before we dive into this chart, we have to go back to 1980, where Ronald Reagan introduced trickle-down economics, the same economic policy Republicans use today. The theory is basically the more corporations make, the more it will trickle down into the pockets of everyday Americans. Everybody wins. But this chart proves that only one side actually wins, and that side is obviously corporations. This red line represents corporate profits over the last 40 plus years, and this blue line represents personal savings for regular Americans over the last 40 years. Obviously, you can see the money did not trickle down. And as it stands today, we are facing the largest disparity between personal savings and corporate profits ever. And it's important to know that it has not always been this way, because if you look before Reagan came into office, these two trend lines overlapped. Personal savings and corporate profits were trending together. And that's because in this era, we were appropriately taxing corporations and wealthy people and building the strongest middle class in American history. And on this side, in the Republican era of economic thinking, we are drastically favoring corporations, and what happens to regular people? Nothing good. And it can all be traced back to right here, when trickle-down economics began and corporations got favored and people got tricked into thinking it was good for them.
I made a video talking about this on my main account, but TikTok gave me a strike for it, so here we are on my secondary account. Ever since black folks got emancipated, the rich white elites have been trying to come up with different forms of slavery, but each form of it gets diluted over time, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't do the same thing that they did the last time, because you got Jim Crow, you got black codes, sharecropping, and mass incarceration, war on drugs. All those are just watered down forms of chattel slavery, because don't nothing hit like that chattel. And this is exactly why they came up with the term Make America Great Again, because they're trying to get back to that economic power and having that free labor. Because if they don't have to pay their workers for their production, manufacturing, things like that, then their profits are just going to skyrocket even more than what they're at right now. And with the combination of black and brown bodies working for free and AI, that's going to lead to the complete erasure of the white, middle, and lower class. And it's crazy because they went through the same thing back whenever we were slaves. Because since they have free labor, they didn't need to pay white folks, like the middle, lower class white folks. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be even worse with AI, bruh, because they're going to have the blue collar taken care of, as well as the white collar stuff that they would be paying you for. So you voted away your entire existence, your entire future. And by the time that a lot of these people realize this, it's going to be way too late. And if even the ones realizing this right now, it's way too late. And they're going to be thinking, damn, them monkeys was right.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and it's really amazing having you here, my viewers, my subscribers, and those who usually comment on my videos. Tell me in the comment section, because someone called me a socialist. The other day, in my comment section, someone called me a socialist. Do you believe so? Because what I think is that the modern capitalism, it has been designed in such a way that it's winner take it all. It's a winner take it all. So what is when can we say enough is enough as a country? Tell me about in the comment section. I'll be making mine at the end of this video.
I don't really care who this triggers, but the problem isn't AI, the problem is capitalism. I'm so convinced that the only reason why we are working 40 hours a week in the year 2025 is just for the sake of having us completely tired and exhausted and easier to control. Like, we've reached the technological advancements to where every American should not have to work 40 hours a week, and I'm going to demonstrate this on a tiny scale for you. We have 5 people working 10 hours a week. And the 5th person, his name is Bob. He's a driver, and now he doesn't have to do that anymore because AI replaced his job. That doesn't mean that Bob just has no job and then is starving and dies on the street. It means that this group of 5 people now, instead of working 50 hours a week combined, they're only working 40 hours a week combined, which means everybody's work week goes from 10 hours down to 8 hours. That's exactly what we should have seen on a macro scale as well. Like, every American, it was predicted that we would only be working like 20-hour weeks, but because of capitalism, they've just overbloated and overcomplicated the jobs and stifled technological process that could actually give us our free time back in exchange for just making us work 40 hours for no reason to keep us dumb, uninformed, exhausted, and probably just having a bunch of kids to fill our lives up. Like, that productivity that Bob's job was creating is still there. It's still happening. But instead of it belonging to the people and them reducing their time, it belongs to the ultra wealthy. How do we fix this on a macro scale? We should definitely be implementing a UBI. Like, right now here in America, we should have UBI. If our jobs are being replaced by technology, that productivity should still belong to the people and not one guy at the top. Tax corporations and implement UBI. We need to do that. And this isn't to say that every use of AI is perfect, good, or non-problematic, but I genuinely believe that we're fighting AI implementation and AI takeover of jobs when really we should be fighting capitalism that makes us feel like we have to compete with AI.
Look, I don't know how to break this to you, so I'm just gonna lay it out flat. You do want socialism. I hate to break it to you. You do want socialism. The only people who don't want socialism are the people who can clear 6 figures every 6 months. Those are the people that socialism does not benefit. That's it. And the people who are making that much money, they'll still be rich even after socialism. Just like they will be fine. Socialism actually doesn't mean that people will go without. That's kind of actually the point. Capitalism actually makes more people go without. Socialism does not. Socialism is also not a binary. It's not like all in socialism or nothing at all. Like, it works in degrees. You can have percentages of socialism. Like, you can be just socialist enough that everyone has housing and everyone has food. Like, that can be enough socialism. You can just have that much socialism. That is a thing you can do. And while we're at it, actually, socialism is not communism. It's not at all communist. Communism also is not socialism. They're not the same thing. So when you turn on the news and you see the news broadcasters who are absolutely losing their mind about socialism, about the dark side of socialism, it is fear-mongering to ensure that the rich stay in power. That's it. That's all it is.
So I think we can all agree at this point that the U.S. is in serious decline. I've talked about it from the standpoint of education. I've talked about it from the standpoint of economy. You could talk about it from the standpoint of just about any way that we meet people's needs in this country. People are not getting their needs met. It's hard to say when this decline started. I think you could say that it even started in the 1970s, but I think it became apparent in 2016 when we democratically elected a right-wing demagogue, which is what countries in decline do. And I've been pretty clear since about last summer or so that my continuing to stay in this country is a choice to go through a very difficult time in history. And I also understand that the choice to stay is itself very privileged. And I guess I'm making this video partly as a caution and partly as a call to action. As a country declines, there is this pattern of insane concentration of wealth, and those who own the wealth start to engage in a lot of corruption in order to keep the wealth going. And where there once was order and maybe some facade that there was not that much corruption, that is all gone, and the people who are in the middle and the upper middle economically start to get swallowed up by the wealth inequality. And the typical reaction of people who are supposed to have privilege in the society is that they will fight very hard to maintain that position. And so my caution is to let you know that we are not at that place in history where we elect a different representative. We're at that part of history where we rewrite the way that government works, the way that education works, the way that economy works. It's a much bigger change. We're waiting and holding on while this current thing crumbles. We're not building anything. And for those of us who are more privileged, it is time for us to let go of our privilege and some belief that we are supposed to have more money than the people who are marginalized in our society. One of the ways that marketing gets at us is that it throws the wealth inequality in our face and tells us that we need to pretend that we have more money than we have. And most people are just going around pretending that they are in okay financial shape.
Hello everyone, let's continue watching. And what I usually say, capitalism and socialism are all means, not the end. So what might be good, capitalism has been great to our country. Innovation, technology, we landed into the moon, we have the best technological companies. It's all because of capitalism. So the end has been good when it comes to our development as human civilization. But at this moment, I believe that the ends of capitalism are not good, But in the past, the ends were good. Now, I don't believe so. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section.
I don't know a good recession indicator. I run a landscaping company, and when people cancel, multiple people cancel their landscaping for the year, I can tell it's a year where people are worried. And I have lots of properties. I have dozens of properties, but I had like 6 cancel this year, and I hadn't even bumped the price on them. They just were like, I'm going to do it myself for a little while, and that made me think we're probably headed into a bit of a worrisome time. Recession indicator for sure, I think, because landscaping is something you can't just not do. It just gets more expensive the longer you wait, and if you wait really too long, the state will fine you. The city you live in will fine you for your stuff being overgrown. So you have to do it, and usually you're going to want to hire somebody because it's a lot of work. And when people want to do it on their own, recession is.
What's your electric bill? And where do you live? I live in Southern California. My electric bill for a 2,900 square foot house, 2 AC units. The downstairs stays at 77 all the time, we don't touch it. Upstairs stays at 79 between the hours of 6 in the morning and 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. 8:30, 9 o'clock, we drop it down to 75. 4:30 in the morning, it goes up to 76. 6 o'clock, it goes up to 79. Don't have a pool, don't have jacuzzi. There's nothing to drain additional electricity from. My electric bill with no outstanding balance just for the month of July. Want to guess? $950. I don't keep the TV on during the day. I don't turn lights on during the day. I keep the house pretty much closed so that it doesn't take that much energy to cool back down. And, before people come in and go, well, it's because you turn everything up. We're literally told to keep our air at 78. So that's what we're told to do. Now, $950 is a bargain compared to what I paid in my previous home a couple of years ago. We had a 3,800 square foot home. Again, 2 AC units. My electric, and we had a pool and a jacuzzi. My electric bills at that house during the summer, $1,500. $950. Thank God I understand, and I know that, you know, the summer, the budget for the electricity is just outrageous and astronomical, and Southern California's Edison keeps raising its fucking rates because, you know, wildfires and infrastructure, and somehow it's always their infrastructure that causes the wildfires that we then have to pay the taxes to. But, you know, whatever. We won't talk about that. $950. What's your electric bill? Because if anyone tells me it's like $50, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I'm moving in with you. So just be forewarned, because do you know what I could do with $950? $950. Fuck me.
Child, people love that same tired line. Get off government assistance and work harder. But let me tell you something. Child, those very benefits came from the mess that this country created in the beginning. If we didn't have a few people at the top manipulating wages, inflating housing, exploiting labor, there wouldn't even be a need for SNAP, Social Security, or Medicaid. Just a quick crash course. SNAP, the S stands for supplemental. It's meant to fill in the gap. You can't fill in the gap the size of the damn Grand Canyon, $15 an hour, and you still can't afford rent, food, and health care. And child, a one-bedroom apartment that used to be $800 is now $1,600. And groceries since the pandemic, while CEOs made record profits. So what do you do with your October benefits? Like, people supposed to save their EBT card. Baby, how you stock up when you don't even have enough to begin with? Child, and let's be clear. The face that they show when they talk about welfare, government assistance, is black. Baby, they've been running that lie for decades. But we know the truth. The majority of people on SNAP, Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, baby, they don't look like me and you. White folks are the biggest beneficiaries of every single one of these programs. So when you hear people saying they're taking our benefits, baby, who is they? Because it's been their community getting a lion's share of it all. Black and brown folks been getting the crumbs, while white America silently has been collecting the whole pie. So this isn't about laziness. It sounds good. It's about survival in a system that's been rigged since day one. And now the system don't love you either, baby. I don't know why we keep trying to humanize these monsters. And they keep showing us who they really are. Anyone who can smile while people can't eat. Anyone who cheers when people lose access to health care. Baby, that's not leadership. That's evil in a suit. So no, the math ain't mathing. Greed is. So black people, drink your water, stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable, and mind your black business. Happy Black History 365.
Thank you everyone who has watched this video to the end. It's really amazing having you here. And you might wonder why I usually talk more about economics in this channel and it's political. It's because that is a real problem that is facing Americans at the moment. And I wonder why my fellow Democrats don't keep talking about this issue. You know, I wonder why we are not talking about this issue. The economy of our country, it's collapsing before our eyes. It's really collapsing. And what I usually say is that I'm a proponent of equity, not equality, equity. You know, everyone should have a clean slate to start with in this country. You know, some of us are disadvantaged from the time we were born. We were born to be poor. We were born to work till we die with nothing to leave to our future generations. It has been designed so since time immemorial. And Republicans presidents have been poor to our economy. Let's begin with Ronald Reagan. You know, this man who Republicans adore so much. They claim he was Messiah, maybe next to Trump. He destroyed the American dream completely. Let's look at George Bush, the mess he left this country in. You know, the two-way depression. So tell me in the comment section, do you think that the government didn't know about the collapse, the collapse that was coming in 2008, 2009? Do you think that the government didn't know? Tell me in the comment section, do you think that the government of Bush, they know about the mess that this country was getting into? Do you think so? Don't you think that Eisenhower taxing the billionaires and Bush reversing it, don't you think that they knew that it would have adverse effects on our economy? The government keeps taking everything from the poor. High taxes, you know what I mean? High tariffs, you know what I mean? But the billionaires, they are giving tax cuts to do stock buybacks, to invest overseas where they can take advantage of the cheap labor. What about us, the poor, me and you? What happens to us? We are left in this country to deal with the mess that is left around. We are slaves, only that the terms has been changed. Slavery has been replaced with salary. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be waiting, I'll be listening. And what I usually say is stay alert, stay focused, watch blue, talk blue, listen blue, vote blue. And until the next video, thank you for your attention to this matter.